Alright guys, if this doesn't motivate you, nothing will motivate you or make you stick through to your purpose and actually hit your actual goals, right? But let me first start off, right? I want to say that motivation is not a real thing, right? So if you expected this video to attain this motivation, I'm not here to motivate you. No, I'm not here to motivate you. Simply here just to put you in the right state of mind, right? Because we don't live by motivation. We live by true discipline. We live by true thoughts. We live in a way where we persuade ourselves to create our own story and create our own actions, right? And whatever the action leads to, it leads into a consequence. It leads into alternatives, right? It leads into different scenarios, different situations. But at the end of the day, are you receiving the same consequences? Are you doing the right choices? Are you receiving the right intellectual actions that you want to do in your own self? Because if that's something that you're contradicting yourself at regarding on your own goals, right? On your own path, on your own self, what are you actually achieving or who are you actually becoming, right? A lot of people tend to say that their lives never get better. It is because simply they can better themselves. They can better their actions. They can better their problems. They can better their consequences, right? So how can you do that? Consciously be aware of and analyze yourself how you can consciously move on forward and move on in a way where each step is continuously just building up more attributes for your self growth and actually becoming a new identity, right? Because we live in a world where every action that you take, it is a different timeline. We become different timeline identities every time you do something different, right? There could have been a timeline where you could have been in the gym right now, or there could have been a timeline where you could have been in an office job right now. It could have been a timeline where you could have been an athlete. Whatever it is, whatever case, your life right now is at the state where it's supposed to be at, it's because of you, right? If you don't know how to stay disciplined, and if you don't even know how to motivate your own thoughts, or you don't even know how to focus on the positive thoughts, it is because you don't know how to. Simple as it is. You don't know how to, and your life is shit as it's supposed to be because you're not making anything forward to change that outcome, right? What are you doing differently than now when you do these different actions? It's going to lead to a different outcome. Instead of you having the same problems over and over again, what are you doing consciously to stop these problems? What is it? Have you even tried? Have you even asked yourself, are these problems coming to me? Right? At the end of the day, problems are an accessible thing that our world has always have brought into us, right? Ever since we were born, ever since we was kids, ever since you were teenagers, adults, and right now at the present moment, every decision in your life has led into a single problem, right? But would you rather have a bad problem or would you rather have a good problem? There's only a difference between two, right? And by the way, guys, drink your protein shake. Right, so moving forward, was mentioned first, fuck motivation. Motivation isn't reliable. Motivation is just a sense of your motives and actually you focusing on the positive thoughts for now in a short period of time. That is temporary. It's like if you were to feel sad, that is a temporary feeling. It's like if you were to feel worried, that is a temporary feeling. Motivation does not stick within you the whole time. That's why it's called motivation. It makes you move. But once you start moving, obviously you're not going to feel motivated, right? You're just going to stay still and wait until you get motivated again, which a lot of people tend to do. So I don't like motivation. The only reason why I wanted to make people click on this video is because motivation is what people rely on. It's what people stand for. It's what people do most of the time. They really don't have this affirmations on their minds telling themselves that it's not about motivation. It's about what I do. It's about how I carry myself every day. It's about whenever those days I don't have motivation. It's about those times where I don't feel like doing anything, right? Those are the important times for you to focus and actually move on, right? So moving forward, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Simply enough, look around and actually think to yourself, what have I accomplished today? What are the things that are making me better? what have I done in my certain habits, on my daily routines that this is gonna come in a return for me, right? What am I doing that is prioritizing my future, right? All these things can be overlooked. Trust, these things can be overlooked because right now what you're doing is gonna matter continuously over and over again into the future, right? Whatever time you're adjusting right now for your own future is what you're gonna receive in your own future. I know I don't like to think about the future because I live in the present moment, but think about it like this: what choices are you gonna do that is gonna take over your time? Time is valuable, right? So is time valuable? What are you gonna do that is gonna value your time later on? That is gonna grant you much more time, right? Think about it like a clock, right? The more you keep working in, what is the clock gonna? How much time are you adding into your own self and putting yourself in a better position, in a better state, in a better environment, in a better influence state of mind that now you're making a change into your own self identity. So whenever you are this person, you automatically have invested yourself so much because your choices come from out of love. Your choices come from prioritizing your future in a way where everything is coming in the right place, right? So simply enough, what are you doing? Ask yourself this question and honesty and truth. A lot of people tend to duck the truth because they don't like to feel wrong. They don't like to feel like that everything that they're doing is something that's false. Hey, you might be right. Maybe what you're doing should be for you, right? But at the end of the day, is it actually something that's benefiting you? Is it something that truly enough is making you become a better person? Right? What is it? So your life isn't where it could be at, right? So I want to make sure that most people understand that whenever you want to become an identity, or you want to be, not become, when you want to be an identity, you have to live within that identity, right? A lot of people tend to be this entrepreneurial business person, blah blah blah, moving forward, this high quality tendency that they want to achieve, but they never realize that their life is not gonna be where it's supposed to be at because you need to live within that identity, right? Your life automatically overturns whenever you become a different identity, whenever you change your whole self-image, right? Let's say, for example, right now, it's just an example. Right now, I want to become a soccer player, but at the end of the day, I'm still dressed like this. I'm still doing content. I'm still doing this. What does me doing this content have to do with me becoming a soccer player? Do you know what I mean? So right now, if I was to ask people who do I represent as, they will obviously choose a content creator, right? So me as being content creator, but me trying to be a soccer player, it does not comply with what I'm doing right now. So this kind of relates to a lot of things that a lot of people do. They tend to multitask a lot of tasks, but most of those tasks do not align with the identity that they want to be, right? You want to become a soccer player, but also you're over here making content, right? I'm not saying that y'all shouldn't do that. I'm not saying that you can do whatever you want. But what I'm trying to say is that you can be one identity and then wanted to become another identity, right? Obviously, what I'm saying is that you can become a YouTuber if you want to become a soccer player. Does that make sense? Right? You can't multitask. It's unbalancing there. You can't prioritize both, right? It doesn't work like that. Maybe you can, but think about it briefly. Think about the time and think how roughly enough is just helping you in a way or not helping you in a way, right? But moving forward, the essence of true motivation, external and internal motivation, right? So the true motivation can either come from the external or it can either come from the internal. Most people get motivated by the external because of social media platforms, because of the news, because of the young person that got millions of dollars, the young person that opened his business, people showing the Lambos, traveling the world, whatever it is, right? They get influenced by a lot of materialistic stuff, which tends to motivate them, which is not wrong. Obviously, it's not wrong, but the focus is not right. the focus is not right. They're focusing on the thing that's really materialism, which is influencing their mind, right? So now that you adjusted that mindset, since when you are motivated, you're doing something, when you don't receive the same things that you have expected in your mind, when you see other people with the social media materialism, a lot of your mind would just overturn yourself and be like, wow, they have all this stuff but you don't have this stuff, right? Our mind is so judgmental. We are judgmental people. No matter what, we will always judge something. It's natural. It's something that we do day by day, right? We would judge people who we see every day. We judge animals. We wake up, we judge ourselves. We judge our thoughts. Whatever it is, right? We always judge something. But that's also a weakness that I can talk over. But regarding on that, our judgmental mind will always tend to put us down whenever our focus is not right. So what I'm trying to say is that instead of your motivation coming from the external, it should come from the internal, right? It should come from the internal. Instead of you thinking about like this, oh wow, if I work on this, I'm gonna get this Lambo. If I work on this, I'm gonna get this Versace. I'm gonna get this foreign clothes, this beautiful cologne. No, it doesn't work like that. The materialism stuff always gonna happen, whenever you focus on your internal, when you focus on your inside energy, right? If I work on this, I'm gonna become a better individual. If I work on this, I'm gonna have better habits and better successful ratio, right? If I work on this, I'm gonna work on my skills and work on my craft. All these reliable things that you're telling yourself when you're thinking of your internal, it's gonna automatically open so much spaces for you, and you're gonna start realizing so much about yourself. Wow, I never knew I was good at this. Wow, I never knew I understood this. This is pretty easy, right? But a lot of people tend to miss their skills, tend to miss on their open spaces whenever they think of the external. They never figure out who they really are because they're so thoughtful about the materialistic stuff, which is so horrible because it could ruin your potential. Automatically, it could ruin your potential. You're so focused on the bag, you're so focused on the money, you're so focused on these checks, but you're not focusing on yourself. You don't realize how you're receiving these things by your skills. You're not realizing and being assured about all your attributes that are being open in your mind and just being there. You have to go there and grab them and be self-aware. That's why internal motivation is what motivates most of the true people. This is how 1% actually motivate themselves, right? You think I want to wake up and go to the gym? You think automatically I naturally just make these content videos? Do you think I just go runs after I finish my workouts? No. I just know what I stand for, and I know the purpose of me doing that, right? I don't need motivation. I don't need people to send me videos of motivation. I don't need people to tell me, oh, you need to do this, bro. No, I know what I'm capable of, and I know my full potential. I'm not scared of my potential. I'm not scared of my growth. I am the best version I can be right now. No matter what, I'm gonna always grow, right? There's no less capacity that I can fulfill rather than me just thinking that, right? I am unlimited. Everybody here is unlimited. I believe so, right? Everybody here has unlimited potential. We can just tend to grow more, right? So moving on forward. Identify personal values, reflect on your core values, and shape to motivation, right? So this is really important. What are your values as a person? What do you stand for? Whatever you believe and whatever you want to achieve, you need to stand on business. You need to stand on that valued words, and you need to stand on that value perception that you want to achieve. No matter what, people always think to say that they want to do this, they want to do that, but they never stand on their values, right? If I was to tell you, hey, I'm gonna be this content creator, but you see me and I'm not even prioritizing as one of my valuable things, right? Treat whatever you want to do as a partner, as something that's coming to you and something that's lovable. Don't keep it as toxic. Whenever people don't stand on their values, don't stand on the purpose, it's because they don't respect that path. Right? They don't respect that goal. They don't respect that journey. That's why they don't implement a lot of energy into it. That's why they don't implement a lot of time, which tends to lead into a lot of negative impact and creates a toxic relationship, right? Oh, I have tried this, bro, but this is a waste of time. Well, it is a waste of time because you never put time into it, bro. Stop reflecting on yourself. Stop contradicting yourself and actually do what you want to do, right? You were so hyped about it first, and then automatically you just dissolved with a lot of negative thoughts. That doesn't truly make sense. I feel like people who think like that, personally me, are weak. They're weak-minded, and they will never achieve anything, right? That's why you need to stand on your core values. You need to stand on the things that you value so much, right? You value it so much at the start that you talking big, but then when it's time to action, you back down because, well, you will not treat it as respect. You didn't love what you wanted to do. You didn't implement a lot of ideas, a lot of mind power behind it, and that is why you think it's not working out for you. Well, at the end of the day, you didn't even prioritize it, so it doesn't make sense. You're contradicting yourself. Fix that, please, right? So moving on forward, a role of purpose and motivation, the importance of having a clear purpose in life, right? So I feel like motivation partially just comes in naturally, right? Whenever you think about your purpose and whenever you're actually starting to notice all these things coming into you, everything is coming in a line, everything is actually partnering up with who you are, and your goals are just coming together no matter what, and nothing can really take you away from that other than yourself, realistically. So when you realize the real purpose is that it's the importance of you having something to do, right? A lot of people don't know what to do and they don't do anything. But as long as you have something to do, as long as you know what you truly want to value, it's gonna make sure you're valued back no matter what. That's why you need to be consistent on that important factor. Fuck motivation. Fuck. Imagine if motivation wasn't there. What would you do then? What would you do as a energy giver, right? Excuse me. What would you do as an energy bringer? Would you just sit down and just depend on luck, depend on someone to tell you, "Oh, I do it for you, bro"? No, it doesn't work like that. Everybody, come on, common sense here. You're gonna start whatever you want to do if you start doing it. It's so simple. Just do it. Like Nike says it. Just do it, right? You're not gonna fulfill yourself as that person. You're not gonna feel your capacity of this energy of the journey that you want to be or you want to be within because you're relying on so much stuff, bro. You're relying on false energy. Motivation is not real. The only reason why motivation is something that we adjusted in our reality, it is because motivation is what starts a person. It's not what makes a person stay there. It's what makes a person start. That's why a lot of people start a clothing business, they start a clothing brand, whatever you want to say, and they never stick with it, right? They never stick with it. Never. So moving the illusion of motivation, it's unreliable. I was saying this is just partially an illusion. Motivation doesn't exist. Motivation is just the way how your mind it has carried on the idea, has carried on the success, it has carried on each positive thought, which should be contained in your mind naturally. It shouldn't be a thing where every time you think of an idea, it should just stay there for like 2 or 3 days and automatically your mind is like, you know what? No. Because I was mentioning, we create ourselves in different timelines. We create ourselves in different self identities. So your mind is not always gonna be the same mind as if you were to have it when you first started. That's why you need to master your own mind. That's why you need to practice how to stay within that flow. That flow state where you're just thinking of positive thoughts. Oh, you know what? This is actually working. This didn't work out, but now I know what I did wrong. So I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do it better and much more efficient and much more easier. You see how it's so much different? You see how I just basically replaced that negative perspective now into a positive perspective? It's so simple. I am not a person who is different from anybody else. I just have a different perspective. It's just a different perspective, right? That's all it is, guys. It's so simple. And so this is important as well. Overcoming fear and limiting beliefs. Reframe negative. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Practice self-compassion, right? So starting with the motivation, like I was saying, after your motivation ends, after you realize that your motivation is not there no more, your mind is going to fulfill itself with its natural negative thoughts. You have to know that 97% of our thoughts are negative. So automatically, naturally, your mind is going to be like, oh wow, why am I doing this? I already wasted so much time. I'm not receiving anything back, right? So that's just an example that I just said, but we can go further more with that negative thought. If you don't know how to reframe a negative thought now into a positive thought, you automatically are a negative person that is letting his mind beat over him or her, right? limited beliefs are such a thing that is a lie. It is a lie because limited beliefs don't exist on other people. How is it that a lot of people are successful? How is it that a lot of people have become the person that they want to be if limited beliefs exist? Oh, so if this person is successful, why can't I? Right? You need to start changing your limited beliefs in a way where it's actually starting to make you much more productive, right? It's to be motivating you. A limited belief shouldn't be a thing that you should be adjusting to yourself, but rather taking it away and just think about it differently, right? Think about it like this. Oh, I cannot do this. I'm not gonna do it then. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna try this and do my best and see what I can do. Right? No matter what, that's like me still having that. You can do something that's self-limiting belief, but as long as you're doing it, at least you're doing something. But I never like the idea of you doing something that's negatively when you start it. I'd rather just do it with some a positive minded start, right? So going forward, right, the intersection of pain and purpose. Pain serves a reason, which is a purpose, right? So a lot of people are scared of this. A lot of people are scared of growth. A lot of people are scared to change their self identity because of the negative impact that is gonna be in their lives, right? The pain, which is the pain. A lot of people tend to say, "Oh, if I do this, a lot of people will talk down on me. If I start this, a lot of people will not support me." So you're automatically adjusting a different identity and a different reality in your own life if you're already looking at it that way, right? So what I mean by the intersection of pain is that if there's no pain, if there's no true uncomfortability, if there's no true unknown sources that you're putting yourself into, and then you're already realizing that this is probably gonna change a lot, this is probably gonna make you uncomfortable, then maybe that is something for you. Maybe that is something that is trying to take you away from not to do it, but you have to do it anyways. You could do something while you're in pain, right? But as long as you become adaptable, learn how to adapt. You need to learn how to basically put yourself in situations that you have never controlled or you have never been in and still be that person in himself that is actually flowing in the state of life and staying on your purpose. Right? So what does this do? What does this have to do with motivation? It does have to do a lot, right? Because this is not thinking about motivation, right? Is it? This is thinking about the purpose. This is thinking about discipline. This is thinking about actually doing the stuff that you're supposed to do, right? And a lot of people not just tend to not do or just overexceed because of pain. Pain is just a pure illusion, right? There's no such thing as people are. Pain is not negativity. It's not gonna be there forever. Trust. Pain is just to make a structured shape of your purpose and make it a better place, right? So when you stay disciplined in this pain, you're never gonna rely on motivation no more. Once you get over this pain, once you get over the struggles and hardships, motivation is out of the way and discipline is in the way, right? So the last one, man, pain to grow. Don't allow weak mind to control you. Don't allow your mind to control you, man. It's your mind. You're free-minded. You're open-minded. At the end of the day, your mind has a lot of space. Your mind is the temple of your own structure. So if it's the own temple of your own structure, then what do you think that means? That means that your mind can create anything. That means that your mind is the one who's controlling your every source of your own body, every source of your energy, which could be implemented into the power of yourself within your purpose, right? But yeah, that's me, Fredo Saga. I leave it up to that. If this doesn't motivate you, nothing will. But nah, if this doesn't keep you disciplined, nothing will. I'd rather name it like that. But and don't rely on motivation. Fuck motivation. It's a pure illusion. It's me, Fredo Saga. This Deep Dimension expansion with some new game. Y'all go follow my other socials in the lower left corner, and much love. Check out my other social platforms on my link bio. I also coach, so if y'all want to stay in contact with me, stay in contact with me on Instagram, TikTok, and whatever source is on my bio link. Peace out, y'all.